This was pretty funny, but also sad. Our local Denver ABC 7 station had to post this on their Facebook page because they were getting a bunch of angry complaints about Jimmy Kimmel being canceled. They wrote that they're an ABC affiliate station. The decision to suspend was made at the network level, so here, go contact ABC. You may have heard that the companies Nexstar and Sinclair also had something to do with this. So this post also said, "We are owned and operated by the EW Scripps Company." They were like, "You guys, we are not ABC and we are not Nexstar or Sinclair either. We had nothing to do with this." But that is confusing for people because if you watch TV in Denver, the Channel 7 is called ABC, and that is where the Jimmy Kimmel Show played. People always say that ownership of media tells you a lot about its bias, but ownership is super complicated, especially with local news stations and big networks. You can see what I'm talking about on the pro version of the interactive media bias chart. For local TV news, there are 200 some stations around the country for each of the networks. So about 200 for ABC, for NBC, 200 for Fox, for CBS. But not all ABC stations are owned and operated by ABC. Not all NBC stations are owned and operated by NBC, etc. Some of them are, like the network might own 20 or 40 of the local stations, but the rest are owned by a handful of bigger media companies which aren't necessarily household names, like Nexstar, Sinclair, Scripps, Gray Television, Tegna. We have this ownership field which shows you not just ownership, but subsidiaries, network groupings, and affiliation. So if you look up ABC News in there, you'll see the shows on the ABC News Network, national shows. And you may know that Disney owns ABC, so if you pull up Disney, it will also show all the ABC owned and operated local stations. But if you select ABC affiliate, you will see the 200 some local stations I mentioned. Then if you pull up Nexstar, you'll see that it owns a bunch of local stations, some of which are ABC, but they also own some Fox, some CBS, and some NBC. Same thing with Scripps, some ABC, like our poor Denver ABC 7, some CBS, some Fox, some NBC. Sinclair owns a bunch as well, some of each, and so does Tegna, which notably, Nexstar is currently attempting to buy, but that requires approval by the FCC. So as a news consumer, if a media owner does something you object to, you have every right to go complain to them. Just try to find out if you're yelling at the right people.